Okay, doing a little connection with the GoPro and the cell phone. Might get a little tricky, but another quick rip today. We're gonna do some old vintage modems. Prometheus Pro modem. Little double, little entendre there. The Apollo 618 by Roman numeral 2 tomorrow. This belonged to Jay Watson apparently. It's got some nice gold pins in the back. Aluminum casing. This is not a modem. This one is obviously, but they just kind of fell in the same category. And this is another one, Apollo by Tomorrow. God, that's a cringy name. So yeah, let's start with a modem. I've been kind of disappointed in the past with a lot of the modems. They do have like maybe one or two good chips on them, but then every once in a while you get a banger. It's plastic bodied, and I want to do it nice. Oh, came off really nice. And you know, the board's not that bad. It's got great gold on this kind of switch. It's toggle switch, which is really nice. I'll put that in my gold container. This looks like a awesome little speaker, you know. Then it's got some two-legged chips, and then the four, and then this one's ceramic. It sounds like this one. Maybe they're both ceramic, but yeah, not too terrible. Some ribbon. All right, it's plastic. Oh, these are like pretty. I don't know if they're LEDs or not. If they are, they're rather old. So I'll depopulate. I have some LEDs that I pull off for some future gold refining videos. I try to only take the old ones, and let me know if like the old ones don't have any and I'm just wasting my time and I need the new modern ones. This is an aluminum plate kind of buried in with the plastic. So came apart easy enough, and I'm just gonna confirm the magnet that it's aluminum. No sticking, nice and light. Walks like a duck, talks like a duck. It's aluminum. Sounds like aluminum. So yeah, that's not too bad of a board. I'll take these chips off too, to kind of show you. Maybe it's a gold window, which it almost never is, and it doesn't even have a window. It's just their Prometheus chip. It is plastic. I thought it was ceramic, but it is not. This one is ceramic, Hong Kong. And then, man, I know there's a certain name for this kind of chip with the four, like with the plastic bed, it looks like a mattress. It's gonna pop the mattress out of the bed frame. I don't know why I've always thought that, but that's kind of. So I'll take the chips off of it, going gold, which I'm gonna be doing more of as I expand the channel. You know, I've got, this is just this week's VGAs. Not this week's. Probably about 14. Probably about 2 weeks. All right. Sweet. Nice little board. Off to tomorrow, the Apollo 618. Now, this has got a plastic film right here, but I can see that these are gold. Like, it has gold foiling, gold legs, everything behind it. So it's this kind of display. I've seen these before. I have a little plastic container that keeps these. You know, the vintage stuff, this straight up has more stuff in it. That's why I hate scrapping vintage things if like there's a collector value of it. So, you know, desktops, people, I have no problem finding people that want them. But this kind of vintage equipment doesn't really serve a purpose. Man, there's a lot of screws, like a lot of screws on the side. I always prefer to save items when I can, but not always possible. And at the end of the day, you've got to do what's best for your time in your business, and only you know what's best for your business. So, you know, the people that comment Like, how could you destroy it? Or, you know, because it ain't yours to make the decision. That's my answer. Okay, so nice aluminum, nice board. I don't think it has like telecom grade stuff on it. I mean, it doesn't, but it's really populated. I'm certainly going to throw it in my high grade boards. There's a couple of interesting things that I want to point out, right? And I certainly, you know, this conversation, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I think that's, well, it says L16 on that one. So I was going to say that was an old tantalum capacitor, but I don't think it is now that I see that the marks. A lot of capacitors over here, a lot of copper coils. I'm going to see what's under that big boy. I find that when you have an extra layer of protection like this, it's like something that has a lot of high gold content, or it's your battery, shocky protection, user protection kind of stuff. And for this one, I think it's the user protection, heat, a lot of capacitors, the largest copper coils on here. So what's interesting to me, these back gold legs right here, which I'm going to go ahead and kind of, there's a screw. Might be layered board, which means it can be double-sided, or there can be another group of boards underneath. Let's see. Sweet, it was on the bottom. It's a nice little rod. Don't know if it's steel or not. I would like to get to the point it is steel. I like to get to the point where I could keep lots of these and, you know, sell them for crafts or people looking to build things, you know, like a nice straight rod. But time, space, that's the equation we're all fighting against. I look at the space that it takes in Barnabas and in the storage units we have as money. You know, this item takes up, you know, one whole row. What's that worth monetarily? You know, it can't stay there forever. So everything's kind of have a value put to it. Okay, check this out. Nice gold legs, like on those displays, what I was talking about. So you can kind of see much different than the other ones around it. It's got one of those hex knobs too. See, you put a hex bolt, like an Allen wrench, in this one and that one, or you use a speed wrench. So I don't have any goggles on, so I'm going to put those on because safety third, my friends. Okay. Don't know if this will work the first time, but we're going to try. And hey, thing's rugged, but it worked. A lot speedier than finding that part. Aluminum casing, very nice. Knock out the little window. Now it's clean. So this guy, the double layer, and sorry baby, did I wake you up from a nap? My dog's like, what are you doing over there? Nice double layer. And it is sharp. Like these bottoms is like super sharp. All right, so I will probably use the heat gun and not the air hammer to depopulate that. It's just not a big enough sturdy board. So I'll use the heat gun to get that off. And this board doesn't have any gold legs on the bottom. So I will throw that in the mid-grade. Let me just get that off. So that'll go in the mid. Okay, so that was the other half. Or no, it wasn't even half. That was just the front, wasn't it? All right, so we got some more screws to go. I like how they've got so much crammed on one single board. This is definitely could be getting away with telecom grade board. It's just covered. I mean, these are ceramic. 1976, 1985. So this is 1983, and it says Intel 1978, 1983. So this is early 80s, 84, 83, 85. It's got some Motorola chips on there. And then you got your 1988 ceramic up here. So this would be a nice depop later on, kind of digging in it. If I had 100 of these things, maybe I would just sell the boards, but you know, where I'm at is like, I like fast nickels, meaning over slow dimes. You know, ooh, that's okay. Thank you. Nice gold pins. You know, I would rather have a nickel really quickly than wait a while to get a dime kind of thing, because you can turn a nickel into 2 nickels really quickly, but you got to get the nickel first, if you know what I mean. You know, so it's like keeping cash flow, keeping money in and out, covering payroll, covering expenses. That's really important. And so if I had 100 of these units, I probably would save this and not depopulate and put it all into, you know, high grade telecom grade boards. But since I am, as far as my my slow dime approach, because it is about a balanced approach, you know, I want both. I want slow dimes and fast nickels. You know, I'm going to put some of these really nice chips into my gold refining when I decide to start doing that. So I'll take a couple off, put the rest, and I don't really think I'm going to take enough on this one to downgrade it, but I probably will take these, which will maybe downgrade it to high grade, maybe even mid grade. So yeah, you know, you got to do what's right for you, but I find my approach, I find a more balanced approach the best way to go. That's why I don't really sort wire either. Like, I could probably double my wire, but I'd have to pay someone to do it, because I've got way more important things to do than take the heads off of the wires to get number 2 wire and then communication wire. You know, it's just not worth it. Some things you just got to let go. I mean, I don't want to ever get so big that I'm throwing complete desktops and you know, i5s and all some good stuff just right into a box and not breaking down anything. I know there's a lot of eWaste companies that receive, put it in Gaylords, and a truck comes and picks them up. The only labor they're really paying for is the labor for the drivers to go pick things up, the labor to, you know, carry the things that need to be carried, and sorting the things. But you know, here we do have that. There's a lot of stuff that comes in that we don't even touch. That's got great boards in it. We don't touch satellite receivers, any of that old kind of DVD recording device, cable boxes, things like that. They've got pretty nice boards in them. Routers, we don't break down. We really just kind of break down now desktops, because the parts sell really well, and, you know, RAM included and things like that. We sell, so desktops, cell phones, they're just, you know, modern cell phones are very difficult to break down. I mean, but the old ones we do, because the old flip phones, they just have great stuff in them. And I'd find it, you know, if we ever had to sell quick, like if we ever had to cover a payroll or something came up, I've got, you know, close to 100 pounds of cell phone boards, you know, the non-China, you know, the vintage Nokia stuff. I could either sell it to my buyer for a nice healthy price, or I could flip it on eBay if I could wait a week and didn't need the money right away, and it would fetch a great price. Same with RAM. I keep RAM stockpiled up, right? We need a quick payday, bam. You know, I'm easily getting $22 a pound in RAM, you know, and have been for a couple of years. And if it's not 22, it's like $21.75, you know, things like that. And that stuff adds up fast. And that's why we also break down desktops, just because we need the RAM for certain things and rebuilds and whatnot. But we can also get a big payday. So slow dime, you know, payday. Fast nickels, wire, routers, although you didn't get that much routers, but hard drives. Since we're already breaking down desktops, CD drives, you know, we take the board out, but they, you know, they still buy the rest of the casing. Hard drives. If it is a desktop hard drive, so, you know, one of the 3.5 inches, we'll take the board off and we'll save that for our slow dimes, and our fast nickels will be the rest of the aluminum. Is it the greatest payday on that fast? No, it's not. That's the point. That's why it's fast. So, you know, be thinking that in terms of your business, like the space that it takes, the item takes up, that costs money. You know, that's costing you bottom line, and you got to think about that. Monitors. I mean, it's a plastic around a metal box, but they take up so much space because they don't stack well. They flop over. You know, the first thing we look at as monitors is, does it have an HDMI connection? If it does have an HDMI connection, okay, is it like something that would be a good thing to resell on Facebook Marketplace or something like that? Does it have its charger with it or not, or its AC adapter? You know, I'm not trying to go buy a new AC adapter for $12 for a 27-inch monitor that we potentially could get $60, $80 for, right? But, you know, there's no way to test it until we have the charger. There's no way, I mean, sometimes they'll be universal, but a lot of these monitors, man, they just like very particular what charger they can have. So monitor is one of those things where fast nickels, and those fast nickels are very, very actually pennies, because we basically get shred price for our monitors, and that's okay. We get so many of them. We have a buyer that buys our monitors and our printers for shred. It's just scrap steel price. If we had a little bit more room, I think we'd save the printers. There's a couple printer buyers around here. They really want the lasers, the top, the office equipment kind of stuff, which we get lots of. Man, they take up a lot of space, and testing them takes forever. It could be a driver issue. It could be a computer, what computer you're trying to install it on. Like, it's just not our specialty. So yeah, fast nickels on those too. But yeah, this is just a repeat of the last one. Same exact board. I do like that gold. Those gold pins. That'll be fun to get off and smash up and burn to try to do a refining with one day. But yeah, tell me your strategies about how you run your eWaste company or your hobby, and what things you stick with as far as what you always keep or always break down or always get rid of immediately. I mean, I'm sure there's some universal elements. Right? We're kind of all in this together. We're on the same industry. One thing sells for me is probably the same thing that sells for you, but there's some tips in there and there's some insight that we can all gain from, and we'd love to have it. We're all part of the same community, and we should be sharing our ideas and content, and it starts in the comment section. So do it. Have a great day.